win the right way. That don't be like Google.
What was the most surprising thing for you in the leak, that you found in the leak?
Given the leak was essentially leaked by Google themselves, they accidentally gave me the license to go ahead and publish it. Google will make sure until the last day their stock prices are just climbing and climbing, climbing. No, I do not fear from Google, but my concern is about the health of the overall economy of the web for everyone. Google collects data from Chrome. It's a popularity signal, not a quality signal. Fresh articles are temporarily moved to the high quality bucket. And this is a very old technique, but it's important for me. I do have responsibility to share it here again. An offer by default is not a ranking factor, but it can impact things in both direct ways and indirect ways. From what we found, which I've shared in the initial analysis with Brand Fishkin, this is based upon engagement. So if there is more attention on images, then for that particular query, more images are shown. Will AI replace Google search? I think it already has to some extent.
Breaking news.
Odys is selling 86% of their inventory to over 40,000 verified buyers. And most of it are instant sales. Are you sitting on a premium H domain? Sign up for Odys Marketplace right now and wait for your check.
Hello, this is Odys Podcast. My name is Aneta Samkov, and we're meeting today at the Holistic SEO Mastermind in Kuşadası, Turkey. And I'm very excited for today's guest, who is no other but Erfan Azimi.
Hi!
The guy behind the Google leak and the owner and CEO of Eagle Digital. Thank you so much for making it happen. It was difficult, but we managed.
Oh, it's been a road. It's been a chaotic journey to get the cameraman scheduled. It took one full day.
Yes.
And here we are at 11, is it 11, 10 a.m.? Sorry, p.m. So it's been, as you can imagine, a long journey.
Long day. Yeah, this is why it's so dark. But
it is dark, yes.
we're ready to talk Google algorithm updates.
Would be a
whole
pleasure.
Conversation. So let's start. Can you tell us how is life after Google leak for you? You're like an SEO hero right now, but I was wondering if you feel any repercussions for your actions from Google or any entities that support it.
So let's say the legal actions, no, that's essentially time has gone significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Although there are some things that may indirectly upset me more than Google's essential legal actions. Given the leak was essentially leaked by Google themselves, I had a role of sharing it to the community and to people. And it was published under open source license. So they accidentally gave me the license to go ahead and publish it.
Mm-hmm.
Although accidental, but it is a license. The things that really worry me are more of a matter of, let's say, less about lawsuits or Google's actions that may directly related to leaks, but not related to leaks really. Some of it is the switch towards more of a, increasing the number of ads on the search results. And also the AI overviews, AI mode is a big one. And these changes are going to be structured in a way that is going to hurt the open web. And at the same time, they will be optimizing their ads platforms good enough for the essentially paid advertisements to get enough clicks. These are all have financial agenda behind it, as you can imagine. In the world that we are having right now, SEO versus Google, or let's say the open web in general versus Google. It is a serious deal. And Google will make sure until the last day their stock prices are just climbing and climbing, and they would be afraid and scared of any plateauing in the stock market regarding the Google stock. But what's really problematic is the health of the overall web economy is not taken into account. And that's why we had the DOJ lately, essentially a lawsuit from the Google government, from the US government.
Yes.
Because what they're doing is not only unethical, it's, I don't know how to put it in a way that I don't need to use a problematic word to describe it, but this is not good. But at the same time, it's my responsibility to say, if we keep things together and if we do not panic and stick to what really works, but do it ethically, then we would win. Because as far as we know, in the tech industry, there's a hype, which I've heard the quote, 90% of the AI buzz is certainly an illusion, 10% is reality. And if we really stick it together, do not panic, and plan it well, nothing should backfire. But if we do feel significant worry and we let that stress and anxiety affect our decision making, then we will have a problem.
Yeah.
So to essentially answer the question, no, I do not fear from Google, but my concern is about the health of the overall economy of the web for everyone who actually has a small business.
Have you felt any backlash or support from the community?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of the 99% of the feedback was extremely positive.
Nice.
I was actually surprised about this. Hey, I'm going to be a Google League guy. I'm going to encounter some hate. Not really. I got blocked by 2 Googlers, one from the legal team, the other one being webmaster trends analyst, public relations, PR person.
Okay.
I will not name, but for those in the SEO industry, he has male pattern baldness. Not talking about an SEO, but essentially someone who works at Google. But besides that, the feedback has been positive because the community really saw the frustration about Google really gaslighting the community, its users, and SEOs and webmasters. Although they had essentially an excuse for doing that to protect the algorithm, but this was simply a campaign by Google to mislead its own users.
Yes.
So to answer the question, the feedback, the way that I would actually, so far, no issues so far, all has been extremely positive. And I'm thankful for all those messages. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So coming back to Google's gaslighting, your leak, the leak uncovered that actually the re-ranking is based on click logs, that this is true, which Google publicly denied. In your opinion, since that public embarrassment and obvious denial, has Google changed the way it's communicating since then? Like, can we trust them? Was there any kind of self-reflection?
Yes, it has been. I'm sure many of the digital marketers have felt this. Essentially, we had very recently, we've heard the news that Danny Sullivan is no longer working at Google Search, which was essentially a good guy compared to the rest of the agenda. We are seeing less communication from the search relations team from Google. In fact, after the leak, there was a pure silence for 6 days at Google Search. No tweets, no retweets, no likes from the public relations team at Google, which gave me a hint that a damage was done to the public relations team. And funny enough, one of the folks who actually works at that team, I will not name anyone, temporarily followed me on LinkedIn, then unfollowed me. I don't know why, but
That's so
perhaps accidental. But you can imagine there was 5 days of chaos, stress, anxiety at Google search. Then after 5 days, things that settled down, and then they confirmed the leak. And then the buzz of the leak, the hype did go down significantly after the 5th day. But the amount of anger that SEOs had during that time, I remember checking the Twitter. It was all about the leak for 5 days straight. And things have changed with regards to both how they communicate this stuff, and also they've made an adjustment earlier this year to combat click spam, which has been super effective, by the way. But again, I do not think Google's PR was always an effective way to get honest information. So I would rather people to put the time listening to what they say and spend the time on actually doing the research, doing the tests. Reading some books on information retrieval is a great way. Even reading patterns and stuff on machine learning is also a good way. Gives you more insights than what the PR team of Google will potentially may give you.
So they didn't improve.
It did not improve. It hasn't gotten much worse. So there's less communication from Google. At least we're not seeing any dishonest agenda anymore.
Okay.
And any information they put out there is now honest.
It is
so
now
the
honest.
leak, that was the essential purpose of the leak.
Okay.
To make sure these guys wouldn't lie again.
They won't gaslight anymore.
They won't gaslight, but they're not also sharing.
Yeah.
They're not sharing any generic PR stuff that much anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's essentially a good improvement.
Good improvement. Yes.
Yeah.
So, how actually has the click log for re-ranking integration evolved in the core updates since the leak happened last year?
So core updates, they do take into account some of the engagement stuff, including clicks. So I suspect, so to essentially simplify it, after the Google leak, there was essentially some changes to combat spam or click networks. So that's essentially one part of it, which is related to before the leak and after the leak. Then we have the question related to broad core updates. Core updates do take into account a lot of the changes in the overall web ecosystem. And those changes, essentially some sites as a result of it, assuming it matches with how the trend of the web with regards to the searcher intent and the overall engagement of the site, those updates will decide either you should be boosted or demoted or essentially neutral if nothing has happened in the web ecosystem. So there has an effect, but some of it is just related to the natural changes of the web, not particularly related to the Google leak.
Okay. So what click patterns are now like most predictive of like sustained and high rankings?
I mean, you want, this is essentially a very good question, but to simplify it, you don't want large number of people clicking on competitors. Mm-hmm. Either the journey is started via long click, then short click on a competitor, then long click, on you. That's the ideal situation. You do want a long click. And then the situation that you want to avoid is a situation that, hey, so your site was essentially one of the results that was being clicked on, and it had a relatively low duration of a visit. Then there's a good possibility that result that a lot of short clicks was being, that attracted a lot of short clicks will be moved down. Maybe bottom of page 1, sometimes page 2, sometimes even top 100, depending on the scenario.
Okay. The leaked documents, they highlighted anchor foliation for link classification into like low, medium, high tiers. Can you explain that concept a little bit and talk about how SEOs should like take advantage of that?
Sure. So the quality index clusters at Google with regards to links or anchors, they have 3 different clusters. The first one being high quality, second one medium quality, the third one low quality. From what we found, which I've shared in the initial analysis with Brand Fishkin, this is based upon engagement. So high quality, let's say very popular and very engaging cluster of URLs on the web. Medium quality, some engagement, but maybe the popularity is not there. Low engagement is essentially no one has seen it. So you do want links on a higher tiers of quality with regards to the index cluster. Another thing worth highlighting here, fresh articles are temporarily moved to the high quality bucket.
So
automatically, but essentially then they will move down to lower.
Okay.
If the signals do not follow up on the initial high quality classification, then once the article loses its freshness, then medium or low quality.
How long is that freshness period?
I don't know, but testing can confirm. I would, if I provide an answer, it would be not accurate. So I would rather let ladies and gentlemen do their testing to figure it out.
Yeah, we encourage testing. Then you can share results in the comments. In the comments of this video, and we will respond.
Yes.
Nice. So site authority scores, like in the leak, they tie domain-wide metrics to individual page performance.
Yes.
Through ratios of clicks and topics. Like, how do you quantify and optimize these scores for best performance?
Good question. So there are multiple, let's say, authority scores at site level that do impact individual pages. And one of the main factors being involved here is the overall site quality score. And then we do have underneath the overall site quality score, which does, estimate a score for the entire site, but applies it to all pages on the same site. Then we do have subfolder or pattern level signals. Let's say subfolder is great on your site, it performs well. Then all pages under the exact subfolder are boosted. Then there's the opposite situation that another subfolder on the same site, it's not great. It doesn't have, let's say, a lot of signals, then that subfolder performs less ideal compared to the engaging, high-linked subfolder. So there are both subfolder signals at place. To make it more precise, pattern level signals. So it doesn't really need to be subfolder, but for a system to fully recognize a pattern in the URL. So to summarize it, you got the overall site quality score, a combination of different engagement and link signals, and we do have the pattern level, or to simplify it, some mostly subfolder related factors.
So a recent Google leak revealed that internal signals like original content score and author byline show that the authors of the texts written content matters a lot. What's your step-by-step approach to create author credits for articles that pass the Google checks for the genuine authors? Like, what's your approach for that?
An offer by default is not a ranking factor with regards to as a way to score web pages.
It's not.
It is not.
So how does it weigh?
But it can impact things in both direct ways and indirect ways.
Okay.
So that offer may show up for some queries that does indicate a navigational preference. So if an offer is famous, then you type a query, then you will insert the offer's name. Then it can have a positive impact. On top of it, the entity related signals at Google search that build the knowledge graph, that build the AI overviews, may use essentially the popularity of the offer as a sorting mechanism. But for web page scoring, not really.
Not really. Okay. And some of the documents like entity salience and those documents related to topic hierarchy showed Google relies heavily on semantic clusters over isolated keywords. They prefer the semantic clusters. Has it evolved since then? Did it change?
So the informational retrieval, keyword matching plus entity matching, intent matching systems have not really, these essentially have not been changed since the last 8 years or so. Maybe since 2016, it has been fairly stable. So in that regards, if we exclude the changes in AI, that going forward AI mode may fan out queries, then the basics do still apply. So it's always a good thing, at least not in a spammy way, to make the context super clear in the most prominent part of the page. What I would caution people to avoid doing is larger scale keyword stuffing at a site level, which can be trigger essentially spam issues. And your goal as a marketer is to prevent issues. For all marketers, of no matter if they do paid ads, SEO, paid ads folks, they do have different issues, like they worry for their accounts getting banned or suspended. For SEO, our purpose is to optimize things, but in a way that is not harmful. So that starts by trying to stay on the safer side than following a crazy 2008 approach. So my recommendation is to make things clear as possible, but not in a way that it smells of spam.
Okay. I wanted to ask you more about the freshness, because documents like DocAge and DocHealth focus on freshness penalties. But how does this apply to evergreen niches, like articles that are relevant all the time? Like, how does this freshness play in that particular case? Should you update them?
Great question. So it depends on the intent of the query in general. For some queries, you do see a massive boost for sort of a newsy related terms. For other queries, the results are more static. They don't change that often. It's always a good thing to make sure your article is as up to date as it can be. It feels great if you have a fast website that you just made an update to it yesterday. But in the matter of, let's say, like a crazy approach that I'm going to match update 6,000 articles on my site via a PHP coder plugin, it will move the results temporarily to essentially a couple of positions of boosts, maybe from even third page to the first page. But you want to update things that really they make sense to be updated, and whether it actually makes sense for something to be updated depends upon if the ecosystem, if the web, if the overall behavioral data has moved on towards, let's say, back in the day, you had some, you were selling some stuff that were relevant, but nowadays the engagement is somewhere else. So you need to look at where you are now or what the pattern will be in the future, and take all those new entities and all those aspects, all those essentially mentions of clustering the article with the newest stuff, and then taking it and updating the old article to essentially match the current ecosystem. For example, like a couple of years ago, like maybe 8 or 9 years ago, no one would essentially use the word AI for SEO, but nowadays it's essentially buzz.
Yes.
So maybe you need to, update that to include that, just for the sake of making sure Google, based upon engagement data, they think your article does address the situation based upon the issues that users have.
And let's talk about Chrome a little bit, because Chrome's data influence on popularity signals was a revelation. Can you, in light of that Google updates, can you talk about how can SEOs leverage browser extensions for counter signals?
So, Google collects data from Chrome. It's a popularity signal, not a quality signal. And it is not the main factor, but it's huge, especially if the article or the page you have is not seen by anyone. It is in the state of what I would call, simplify it as a shadow ban. So a lot of folks often do express this opinion. Hey, whenever I do turn on my Google ads, my rankings do go up, and that's true. But more is not always better when it comes to Chrome signals. There is an amount of threshold that you need to have in order to make the article popular. But more than this, it's essentially going to be overkill, to simplify it. Some amount of popularity is always a good idea. You do want to make sure the articles you do have, they have some amount of engagement signals associated to them, on top of the link-based signals, on top of the click-based signals. Some amount of popularity is always needed. If an article has not been seen by 10 people over the last 6 months, should it be in the index? I don't think so.
And should that popularity be sustained or grow?
Ideally,
you don't want to have spikes, right?
Yes.
Just consistent growth.
Why
or
not?
Stable.
Why not?
Yeah. Okay. And page rank per page variance in the leak, trust flow decaying across sub pages, that aligns with updates, rollout, link evaluation. For big sites, enterprise size sites. How do you manage and prune internal link graphs to restore flow without like triggering the motions?
Okay. So links are still important. PageRank is still important. The way that I would, a lot of SEOs do tend to use the original PageRank formula, or DA or DR or PR, or DA or DR as essentially a replacement for PageRank. But this is really not the case. So I believe the best way to go about this is via simplicity. So having a more complex situation that, hey, I really need to dig into the PageRank flow stuff and, optimize things, the dampening factor. This is not how the current system is working right now. What I would always recommend, run an audit on a ScreenFrog, an internal audit with regards to the site structure. For a website similar to an e-commerce, which has different page classifications, and you want a hierarchy of having a category page, subcategory page, then product pages. And this is a very old technique, but it's important for me. I do have responsibility to share it here again. To make sure the pages that you're linking from the home page, which link to the category page, are topically relevant and topically aligned. And you use descriptive anchor text. Ideally, you want the title and the machine readable metadata of the page to match from the linking page to the linked page. And you also do want to avoid excessive number of links as well. So it's not really a matter of dampening factor like 20 years ago, but it's a matter of if there is something similar to dampening factor, but is more of a more probability of people clicking on the link, you do want to optimize that. So it's always a good idea to run an audit on the site to make sure you do remove broken, unused, or non-topical links. That's for the on-page stuff.
Okay.
With regards to external links, my recommendation is I'm going to actually get a little bit far, and I'm going to distinguish between spam signals for links and also let's say the scoring mechanisms, which actually are responsible for deciding how much weight a particular link should have. So spam signals, as far as I can tell, there are two clusters of spam signals. One, whether they decide to ignore a link, they see it, they crawl it, the page is indexed, but they decide to not to include it in the data sets of the link graph. And if still those links were not ignored, not caught, then they will have a pattern analysis algorithm to essentially penalize it. So if they cannot catch it, then they'll try to penalize the entire page. And the number one signal, surprisingly, there are a couple of few, but the easiest, the most catchy one is going to be the anchor text. As you can imagine, it's important still, but if you do overdo it, then there's a chance of you do get essentially penalized in the second stage. With regards to scoring signals, there are a couple of few factors, like how you mentioned, the quality of the index that links belongs to is a big deal. So making sure that not only your links are indexable, but they're also get a bit of traction. It's always a good idea. Google still does use PageRank, so tiered link building must be done to increase the reputation of the page at page level. On top of it, there are some signals at source level that may impact the credibility of the link. Excessive number of outbound links could cause a demotion. So in the case of cheap gas posts, it can even be definitely the case that you cannot use cheap gas posts for tiered link building. On top of it, there are the language of the source, the country of the source are additionally all taken into account. But it doesn't mean links from foreigner sources doesn't work. It just means they're taken into account. So a small amount is good, but you need to still, I do believe majority of your links need to be from the same country that you're targeting.
And if they're not from the same country, is it better to have English-speaking links or links from English-speaking countries compared to like totally foreign? Do you see any difference there?
I would diversify it. So if you do operate in the Polish market, perhaps you do want 80-90% of your profile to be from Poland. Then the 20% rest from global, all around the globe. So ideally from all languages, those 20%, you need to diversify it.
So it's not like English speaking countries are preferable?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, interesting. Can you talk a little bit about glue from the leaked documents, like this click tracking algorithm? Can you tell us what it is and how it works?
Sure. It's not clicks themselves, but it's a matter of Google activating certain SERP features based upon the behavioral and heat map data. So if there is more attention on images, then for that particular query, more images are shown. If there is more attention, more hovers, more essentially engagement on or clicks on videos, then the video may be treated as a video topic and more results are shown for video-related more video-related queries.
So, for example, if I search for like how to do a deadlift, that most likely will trigger a video.
If users have scrolled on videos, Glue says, "Hey, that's a video-related query."
Okay. And so, how do they? Does this play into the clicks for re-ranking? Like, since can Google now actually take into account clicks on the video versus the image versus text?
They do take that into account, and they have their own clusters, so they're differentiated. There's a difference between Glue and NavBoost in the way that they work. NavBoost's job is essentially, the way it's been described, it's essentially a log of, let's say you have a query and there's a log, similar to a spreadsheet. This URL got this amount of clicks, got this amount of impressions, got this amount of long clicks, got this amount of short clicks. Then they will do the re-ranking afterwards. But the way Glue works is essentially you got how many people hovered for this query, how many people hovered over the images, how many people hovered over the videos, how many people did use the from feature, then Reddit will get boosted. So it comes matter of the fact that the purpose of NavBoost is essentially re-rank web pages. The purpose of the Glue is essentially to rethink the features of the search results.
Okay, so it's so does it make sense ever to actually try to mix different media in the content you create?
I would not recommend it because then there is a good possibility that you would mismatch the user intent.
Okay.
So, like, you want to be comprehensive, but at the same time, you do want to take into account a page on your site has a purpose. And the moment that you try to overcomplicate things, then you'll get a bloated situation that you're matching all the intents. But in reality, the way system treats that, you're matching no intents.
Okay.
So that's a situation that I would want to avoid. And if you do have an image-related, a video-related page, perhaps you do want to identify the proper intent and the proper search query and have a dedicated page just with the video there to avoid any intent-related issues.
So it's better to just check for the query you're looking for, what's ranking, videos, images,
Yes.
text, and act accordingly.
And something I would like to add here, if more than 40% of the web pages on the site are video web pages, the website as a whole will be treated as a video website. So it will be subject to demotions and boosts at the same time.
Okay.
So improving the position of the site for video-related terms and decreasing its general position. So finding the right balance is a good thing. Subdomains may work. So that's something that I would recommend folks to see what works best for them.
So coming back to the leak, what are, in your opinion, the most interesting but not obvious signals that you discovered?
I do believe it's the other missing elements of the Google leak. The Google leak highlighted a lot of the overview of the features and elements, but there were some specific APIs which were not exposed. Those are not public.
Yes.
To give you the simplest thing that I can talk about publicly, there was essentially a white list and a black list of websites. And maybe in the SEO world, folks know this site, blackhatworld.com. It's essentially a forum of black hat SEOs, experimenting, selling services. That is in a blacklist related to, if I'm not mistaken, related to Google Discover. So these things can change significantly. And also the machine learning data, we do not have it. Even though we do have the general elements of, let's say, the feature and the name of the features, we don't really have the specific training data. So those are really what we test about, essentially. And those are what keeps me going and motivated and busy.
Okay, because with the CTR, although Google denied it publicly, a lot of SEOs suspected that it does play a role, right?
Some suspected, the others denied it. And the funny thing is, it's insanity. A person who was denying, was mentioning Google doesn't use CTR, they've said that. And after 9 months, after the Google, it came back and said, yeah, Google does use CTR. I always said that.
These are the SEO influencers.
Yeah. Sometimes I get exhausted about this situation, but it's for my insanity, I need to ignore social media. It's not a good thing. It's
TikTok
not good.
SEOs.
TikTok SEOs. Sorry, OnlyFans SEOs.
What was the most surprising thing for you in the leak, that you found in the leak?
I was hoping to be surprised more.
Oh, okay.
But the thing that really surprised me, which really did not in some way, was how these guys can gaslight for 15 years and sleep well at nighttime. That part is you can have the most advanced algorithms in the world as you want, and you can have some crazy machine learning data analysis stuff. I did not encounter any of those. But what I encountered was a dishonest agenda, which obviously it does surprise you more than the algorithms themselves.
Okay.
So that's still, for me, I think the community was quite obvious about this when the leak happened. Everyone was angry at Google.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it surprised everyone, not just me.
So can you tell us, how do social signals impact the rankings?
Yeah, they can definitely impact the rankings via two ways. The first one being popularity of the web page or the website as a whole via Chrome, or it can be as a Twitter page got index. There is a description, and the description is crawlable, indexable by Google. Therefore, as a result of it, it can influence the knowledge graph, the LLMs to some extent, and also the brand entity in general.
And how do you see the Google updates developing? What are the trends?
The trend may be depending. So I do believe the rollout of the AI overviews, there will be more gap between the updates.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason behind it, I do believe, which I'm guessing at the moment, but theoretically would make sense for me at least, that given there's less clicks going to the web, therefore they need to wait a longer time for enough data to be collected. So maybe you'll have less updates in the form of reordering things and refreshing things. So that's essentially a change that as an SEO or as a business owners, you do need to understand for new websites, it actually adds time to recovery. So a lot, by quite a lot, to be honest with you. So if in the past I used to say 6 months is enough, now I would say a year for new websites.
Oh wow! Oh wow! And do you think AI will disrupt? Do you think AI will disrupt Google's position?
Thankfully, I'm not a visionary. I cannot see the future. But from what I've seen, we really need to wait 10 years to have the answer ready. Because I'm really interested. It's for me. I'm watching all the news and all of the buzz, and it feels like there's a football match going on. I like to watch it, but I don't want to play it.
Okay.
So I'm just watching, observing. But AI is an innovation that has changed the world in ways that it does impact things beyond search.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of who will be first. Will it be Google search? Will it be Gemini? Will it be ChatGPT or DeepSeek? That's the $10 billion question.
Do you think we can enter like the era of fragmentation?
There will be one major player left at the end of all of this. Who? I don't think I know the answer.
Okay. So how do you see search developing in the next couple of years?
Cool. So Google is busy developing their Gemini, so less spam detection systems, good for you, black hat SEOs. And on the other hand, from how I see it, they're working on a lot of the anti-scraping, anti-bot stuff. So, sorry. And then on the other hand, there is essentially seems to be pause happening on the development of search-only algos similar to what we had in the past. Let's say, the semantic understanding of a web page, the basic ranking and stuff. I think we've we've definitely seen that the innovation in that regard has been paused, if not altered, because of AI. Because Google they have their full focus on Gemini at the moment.
Yeah.
If they don't get that right in time, they fear of losing. And it will slow down the development of algorithms by years. But to answer the question, will AI replace Google search? I think it already has to some extent, but not fully. It has not definitely replaced it, but it's something that for more informational, I'm talking to myself queries, the interest, then AI can come in and provide me with some personalized result that is based upon what I've really asked, not based upon a general query. So there will be less clicks for sure for like traditional search engines. But will they be gone? At the moment, I would say I don't see it, but keep in mind, I've gave you a disclaimer. I'm not a visionary.
Yes. So would you recommend getting into AI search, focusing on AI search right now?
100%. 100%. Do not over-focus on it, but start working on it in parallel to the current marketing, organic marketing's efforts that you're currently doing. The SEO, just do it parallel. Do not pause on any of the activities just because we don't know how things will move on from now. But you don't want to be the person who will be late.
Yeah.
So it's better to essentially get started on that as soon as possible.
And there's a big debate going on in the community right now, whether the SEO is the same SEO for the Google and for AI agents, or do we have SEO for Google and Geo, or however else you call it? Like, which side are you on?
Oh, I don't know how to actually answer this. It's so much chaos at the moment.
Is there separate SEO for AI?
So, we got to look at it this way. We have the organic marketing in general, things that we don't pay for. Think of it, the channel ChatGPT as essentially a source of traffic. So I would not put Gemini and ChatGPT under the same cluster. And I would also highlight all these different channels do belong to essentially a hierarchy of organic marketing in general. The reason why some people do play with semantics quite a bit and use the word GEO or whatever name they have is financial motives. And right now, it's no better time than now to know the charlatans who are here just for the buzz and for the money. It's so fun. It's becoming almost a religious question to ask this question.
Yes.
And
people have very strong opinions.
Yes, but I'm going to give, hey, if you have financial motives, good for you. I hope you make it from all this buzz, but don't mislead any people. Do not resell or sell the same services under two brand names just to charge people twice. Or to see if Geo has more demand nowadays, then you're going to say this channel is dead and you're going to focus all your efforts on the hype for a financial motive. My opinion is quite simple. Do it all.
Okay. Awesome. So any last words to our viewers from you?
I'm not an ethics professor, or I'm not like a religious like priest or some sort. But the only thing I want to say, make sure the things you're doing do not hurt anyone. That is my only ask. If it helps you to build a better business, as long as it doesn't hurt people, or if it's not illegal, then go ahead. But if you see a good chance, think about it, the decisions you make, if it really hurts human beings, do not do it. It is not an SEO thing, but something that I had in heart for a while to say. And I think iGaming guys are tired about this also, because I don't think if they can sleep good at night with like DDoS attacks happening on their sites, and then they're in a game that is hyper competitive. It's about money. But at some time, because I know a lot of people from the iGaming world do watch you. And I'm sorry to say this, if you do DDoS attacks, and if you try to harm another competitors because of feelings or jealousy, then be ashamed of yourself. I hope to see, even if there's some shady stuff you're doing, do not hurt the competitors.
Focus on your business.
Focus on your
better,
business.
right?
Focus on building yourself, your business. And at the end of the day, you have a family around you that you need to support.
Yeah, win the right way.
Win the right way. Don't be like Google.
Don't be like Google.
Don't be like Google.
Win the right way.
Win the right way, exactly. I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
If you enjoyed it as much as I did, follow Erfan on LinkedIn. You can also follow him on other social media, and subscribe and like our podcast.
Take care.
Thank you.